All right, today we're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, something I've done since I was 9 years old, and that is create declarations. I've created probably 4 of them in my life for myself, and my kids do them, all my clients do them. In fact, it's so much a part of my life that it's the first section in my upcoming book, There's No Plan B for Your A Game. Today, I want to take you through a little bit of declaration. We don't have the time that the book can go into all the depths, but I want to give you some tips that you can take away and start to create your own declaration. So here we go. Declaration, I want you to think of, most people think of their mission or their goal or their dream. I like to call it a declaration because it reminds me of the Declaration of Independence. So let's think about the Declaration of Independence for a minute. Who created this? You know, our founding fathers, right? And how long ago did they create this? 200 and almost 250 years ago, right? And you and I, or at least us that live here in America, you and I live out this declaration every minute of every day for almost 250 years. Now that moves me. That strikes me as something deep and with huge discipline. Think of how many Americans there are in the world. And each one of us lives into this declaration so that we bring it into existence in our daily lives, minute by hour, by day, by day, by day, by month, by year, by century. That's cool. That's how I want you to think of your declaration. With that kind of weight, with that kind of gravitas, with that kind of timeline, right? So let's get to yours, right? So I always want you to use the word the best in your declarations. I've always used that in my declaration. So when I was 9 years old, my declaration was I wanted to be the best safety in the world. I wanted to be the best safety in the world, right? That's my declaration. I lived into that for 20 years, right? Got to live that life and be that life. My second one was I wanted to be the best stage performer of my time, right? So that takes another 20 years, right? But the declaration holds true. It has these beautiful timelines. You know how most people have goals and they go, I gotta be the best safety in the world and I only got 6 months to do it. Well, you ain't gonna be the best safety in the world in 6 months. Trust me, right? It's gonna take years, right? So have some reality around your timelines. I don't like wimpy ass timelines anyway. A year, 6 months, 3 years. I like 20 years. I like our founding fathers, 250 years, right? I like those. So make sure your timelines are there. What you've got to do for your declaration, first thing, is you have to name it. What do you want to be the best in the world at? You have to name your declaration. Is it the best safety? Is it the best stage performer? Is it the best husband? Is it the best mother? Is it the best speaker? Is it the best coach? What is it? Name it. Name the declaration. That's what no one does. No one will even start because it sounds too long, it sounds too big, and the people that do this, your results are predictable. You're going to end up at the top. That's just how it goes. Declarations work out whether you want them to or not once they're made, okay? So the first thing you got to do is name your declaration. Second thing you got to do is draw up the declaration. No different than our founding fathers do. I usually write this out, right? And then I draw it. I actually draw with pencils, with paper, with colored crayons when I was a kid. Draw up your declarations. Now, some of you are probably going, well, Bo, you know, I'm a business guy or I'm a real elite performer. I don't need to be drawing stuff up. Draw it up. Let's see what comes out of you. Let's just put that aside for the minute. Have you ever been the best in the world at something? That's what I'm talking about. So draw it up. Don't resist this. Don't tell me you can't draw or you're not a good drawer. I don't care about that. No one's going to see this but you, right? Draw up your declaration. What does it look like? What, at the end of this 20 years, what do you look like? Where are you standing? What are you wearing? What's your hair like? What car are you driving? What house do you live in? Who are you married to at the end of this declaration? What life are you living? That's the second thing. So first you got to name it. Secondly, you got to draw it up. And third, you've got to live into it. This is the part people skip, right? They try to achieve a bunch of stuff. They try to achieve certain things. I want you to be the best. I want you to live the best. Think about the Declaration of Independence. Think about you and me living that independent declaration out every minute of every day. That's what we do. We're not walking around going, I got to work on my freedom. I got to work on my right to speech. I got to work on freedom of the press. You're not working on that stuff. We have lived into this. You and I bring this freedom to every step we take. You live into it. You bring it to life by wearing this declaration, by internalizing this thing, by owning this thing that you've declared. That's a cool life. That is the coolest life you can ever have. And some people, they get resistant about how long I'm talking about, like 20 years into the future. They get really like upset about that, like that's too long. And here's the question I ask them: where are you going? Are you going to be here in 20 years? Or are you planning on not being here in 20 years? Right. So if you're going to be here for 20 years, let's declare something. Let's declare to be the best at it. Let's name what it is, right? Let's draw it up, have your founding fathers and mothers sign it, and then let's live it into existence day in and day out. Here's what I want you to do next. I want you to go over to boeason.com and I want you to download my free storytelling guide. And in there are all kinds of exercises to get you up on your feet, start developing and telling your story. You're also going to be the first to find out when a new video comes out, because the hardest thing about being the best and continuing to be the best is you have to be reminded of what is current. So you're going to be the first to know. We're going to keep you accountable. Go over to boeason.com, continue to be the best.